Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you a build guide for the Nightbringer class mod in Baldur's Gate 3. This is a mod that was made by Dirt6969, and there's also a Nightbringer weapons mod that goes alongside this because we get ourselves the Shadowforged weapon, and when you use it on the special weapons, it actually makes them look really cool. We'll get into that. When you first get the sword, they're broken, but infusing them will make them a lot more powerful, adding force damage to them. So the Nightbringer, Envoy's Cloaked in Mystery. So you get the Minor Illusion, Guidance, and the Dark Burst cantrip, which is 1d6 of force damage, propelling enemies 4.5 meters away, and you gain Umbral Bulwark for every target hit. The Shadow Forged weapon, attack rolls use your spellcasting modifier, and the weapon damage type becomes force damage. This is also a charisma-based class. We get the spells Shield, Sanctuary, Command, Healing Word, and Create or Destroy Water level 1. We get Superior Dark Vision, Expertise. So we can choose 2 skills to become expertise in. I would recommend going with the Persuasion skill, and if you want to do stealth, stealth's another nice one you could go with, so you go build around stealth as well. For our ability scores, I think it works best to put most of our points into a dexterity stat and then go with a decent constitution and then something like this. So 14 constitution, 16 dexterity, 16 charisma, and then 10 intelligence and wisdom, and the skill proficiencies that were mentioned. I'll also be covering different gear that we can go with, although there's the Nightbringer's weapon mod you could add to this. It would make it a lot more powerful, but not brokenly overpowered. And that's the thing with this class, it's not broken overpowered. At level 2, you get the Shadow's Whisper, an eerie, unseen force subtly manipulates reality, making you more likely to succeed in any task. Add half your proficiency bonus to ability checks that you're not proficient in. We also get ourselves the Shadow Shift. You vanish into a swirling vortex of shadows, reappearing in an occupied space within your sight using 4 meters movement speed. The Summon Night Eye, call forth a unique raven which can mark enemies with the Night brand and gives Dark Wings favor, allowing you to get a little bit extra damage in. And we got the Nightfall, which does your weapon damage plus additional slashing, which turns into force. Targets must be afflicted by Night brand. When you have an ally within 4 meters or advantage again, killing a creature with this attack gives you 4 meters of movement speed and 1 turn of Dark Acceleration. So for unprepared spells, we're going to leave it as is because that was a pretty good selection. There's the Find Familiar too you could go with, but we also get our Raven there that we can roll with. So once we get ourselves a level 3, we get ourselves a Echo of Darkness. After killing a creature with Nightfall, you can enhance your next Nightfall attack, deal an additional 2 to 20 force damage. Only one attack can be enhanced at a time. Bonus damage increases by 1d10 at every odd numbered character level. We also get the Cage of Darkness. Create a sphere of darkness teeming with malevolent energy. This area is difficult terrain. Enemies become blinded and afflicted with the Night brand. And we get to prepare some more spells here with some very fun ones like Darkness and Hold Person. We already have our own kind of darkness that we can roll with. I love the darkness spell, so you could alternatively take 2. Your attacks ignore resistance and immunity to force damage. Perfect. There's not many force damage immunities in the game, but it's nice to have that. Now for the fighting style, defense is typically the best. +1 armor class is hard to beat, although if you want to use a shield to the dueling can give you 2 extra damage. 2 weapon fighting can actually be pretty nice too, since we do have an offhand. We get 2 of these swords. They're long swords that are light, but defense typically gives you the biggest bang for your buck. And for the next level spell, we'll go with the Darkness, although Mirror Image is also quite nice. And for our feat, we'll level up our charisma to 18. So that's going to help out with our weapon attack rolls as well. At level 5, we get the Summon Night's Eye 2, gets improved stats, and once per short rest, you can cast Cage of Darkness without using the Summoner's Concentration. This becomes huge because now we can do Darkness if we wanted to. And we get an extra attack at level 5, and we get Dark Rift. Crack open a rift in the void, pulling enemies towards it. You gain Umbral Bulwark for every target hit. And we get level 3 spells. Fear being actually a really nice one to have. Counterspell is always useful. Haste is also a really nice spell to have, although I prefer it from a sorcerer that can twin it. And even Mass Healing Word can be pretty useful. So actually we'll take Fear and Counterspell. Fear is nice because it make enemies drop their weapons. It's really nice. You can just go ahead and pick them up. At level 6 here, we get ourselves the Expertise. Choose 2 more skills that you become proficient in. Perception and Intimidation, I guess you can roll with. And then for the skill proficiency, yeah, I guess it's really that. So just leave them as is. For prepared spells, Plant Growth is actually nice. Doesn't require concentration. It can be another form of crowd control. And for our feat, we may as well boost the charisma all the way up to 20. Now, once we get to level 7 here, we got the Enigmatic Flow. Once per short rest after killing a creature with Nightfall, you may cast an illusion or enchantment spell without expending an action. This is like Hold Person or Command. Very nice. The Band of the Mystic Scoundrel does pretty much the same, but this makes you have to kill a target with Nightfall. You also get the Devouring Night. A dark malevolent engulfs the target and caster, pulling them into the fabric of a space nearby, unoccupied space. In this turn, until you kill a creature, when you roll force damage, you deal the maximum damage. So it'll always do the maximum amount. If it says 30 to 40 damage, you'll do 40. And we get to pick some level 4 spells, with some really nice ones. Now, there's a lot of illusion enchantment spells. We got greater invisibility there. We got also Dominate Beast with enchantment, Confusion, which is an enchantment spell. As I mentioned, we got a lot of really great options there. So level 8 gives us the Dark Amplification. You control over darkness is deepened. Cage of Darkness can target 2 areas now, which is nice. And for our next level spell, you can go back and take like Mass Healing Word. And we get a feat at level 8. We could go with Dexterity Improvement. We get Alert from the weapons that we get from this mod. So Savage Attacker can also be kind of nice because we'll reroll our damage die. Improving Dexterity is nice though. Better armor class as well as better initiative. So, I mean, that's not bad. And better on Dexterity checks. Next, we get ourselves another fighting style. So since we're going to use the 2 weapons, we may as well take 2 weapon fighting there. And then for our prepared spells, Telekinesis is okay, but we'll add on Hold Monster, as this is a very, very effective spell. And at level 10, we get ourselves a Midnight Hunt. Well, inside Cage of Darkness, enemies within 4 meters become vulnerable to force damage. This affects until you kill a creature or combat ends. Pretty effective, as you can see. And Summon Night's Eye 3. It can now be done once per short rest, and cast Summon Shadow Image. Also get another spell here. Telekinesis is okay. Dominate Person is probably the best. It's an enchantment spell. It's nice to be able to take over an enemy that we're fighting. At level 11, we get Reliable Talent. Whenever we make an ability check with skill you're not proficient in, the lowest you can roll is a 10. And then we get access to level 6 spells, with things like Globe of Invulnerability being very useful. Hero's Feast is nice if you have someone with Cloud Kill, because Cloud Kill won't hurt you if you actually have this affecting you. Eye Bite's another okay one. Globe of Invulnerability is just by far the best spell here, so we'll take that. And for level 12, we get ourselves a feat, and we also get another spell, so I guess you could take your Hero's Feast here. And for the feat, I think it's actually best to go with Dual Wielder here. For +1 armor class, we can dual wield weapons that aren't light, although the weapons that we get for this are light. Just the increased armor class is really nice, although Dexterity Improvement will also give extra armor class. So I'll show you what to do for this class here for gear. So since this is charisma based, the Birthright has a nice place here to give us an extra +1 to our charisma checks, or +2 to charisma total, an extra 1 to the modifier. Cloak of Protection sets its armor class at 26. This is with the armor of agility. You can wear heavy armor, but this works best because we can still do a bit of stealth if we wanted to. The Helldust gloves are the best in slot for this. You could go with the gloves of dexterity early game for better armor class. There's also things like the gloves of the balanced hand. If you didn't take 2 weapon fighting, you could go with, or if you're wearing no armor, you can go with the bracer defense, but the Helldust gloves will be best, and the gloves of dexterity early game. Evasive shoes. Now here's the sword. So these are broken twin swords of Varrock's Soul. This gives you the Fate Woven Remnant, so whenever you apply the Shadowforged Blade, it'll deal additional 3 to 12 force damage, increase critical hit chance that can stack, and it increases by 10% if the target's below 50% health, so these will actually stack up. And it works with your bow as well, so this gives you a +3 initiative, and that goes to a +5 later on. This extends Nightfall range to 6 meters, and this also gives you the Nightfall weapon, so they each have their own special skills that you get if it's in the main hand or offhand, and this one gives you some extra skills as well, which is really cool. So what we want to do is we got our Summon the Knight's Eye here, and this is going to be our little summon that we can pop in, and it's nice because it gets enhanced too. So we got our bird here, Knight's Eye, and the bird itself can also set up the Cage of Darkness, which can afflict targets with the Night Brand as well. So yeah, we could go with something like that. We'll go with our Shadowforged weapon here so that we can apply this to our main weapons, and then they'll look so much better. You can see there, they're now powered up as they should be. This looks beautiful, and it leaves behind this cool VFX appearance. So yeah, huge fan of mods that have unique weapons that look super cool too. So yeah, that is nice. So I'll show off what this looks like in combat. See, we get all the extra force damage on our attacks, and we want to apply basically our Cage of Darkness. We got our crow to do that. And then once we have this set up, we can apply, we have the Night Brand affecting targets, then we can go around attacking with Nightfall. Then we also got all the different spells that come with being this class. All right, so we're now in combat. Unfortunately, our Raven isn't able to have the same initiative as us, so we have to go with something like the Dark Cage of Darkness here. It's ideal to have the bird set it up, so we can go with our we actually have some different weapon abilities that we could use, depending on what swords, if we're going to use the swords from the mod or not. So I'm going to put a different concentration down because I think that the Confusion spell works a little bit better, although you do get a free cast of it if we take someone out that has the Night Brand. We just can't set up the Night Brand on our first turn. So Confusion's nice because we can have this so that they start attacking others. And then from this, we can just go ahead with, we'll go for just taking this target out. So extra force damage under attacks is always nice. Oh, I think I attacked, no, I attacked them. Perfect. Our bow also gets force damage too, so that's kind of nice. We were able to take out another target there. And then we could also shadow shift to get into a different position as well. Or Midnight Hunt. Whenever we apply that, it'll make all targets vulnerable to force damage. It's a once per long rest. We'll be doing that once we have our night appearance set up. So just hope our bird is able to survive. So the best bird's turn now, so we can apply the Cage of Darkness in an area. And what's nice about this is then once this is set up, we can take targets out inside that and get some different buffs. It also blinds everyone that's inside it, which is perfect. And we can summon a shadow image, conjure 2 ethereal replicas of yourself that just missed after 1 turn. You can use final umbral eruption. So yeah, they get pretty crazy. So we'll summon in our little bird friends here and we'll just send them off. So boom, we got our Darkwing's favor. They all share initiative with us, which is perfect. And they can do final umbral eruption here. Dismiss yourself from your summoner service, leave them behind a Cage of Darkness for 2 turns without using our concentration. So what's nice about this is you can go over here and blow up the birds and creating a large area of darkness here. So great for just setting up and crowd controlling. This one here is, I guess we'll go with the other shadow image here. We already have a large area of this map set up with darkness, but we can always just apply more of it because hey, what's better than 1 darkness? 2 darkness. So then we have this huge blinded area. Everything around here is all darkness. It's perfect. So our crow can just hang out over here and hide out. What's nice about darkness is whenever that's set up, people have a hard time fighting, so they'll sometimes just do throw attacks at you. So we're in a rough spot because yeah, we need to be able to apply damage, and we're slowed right now, which is never ideal. So we'll try and use one of these here on a target. I don't know if I'll be able to make it there. Unfortunately, no, I won't be able to. I'll eat that opportunity tag. We'll just attack. We can't even use the Nightfall. This is not great. We got command dropped or command groveled a couple times. Never something you want to have happen. So I guess with this, since we don't have any concentration right now, we may as well just go for an attack. So we can just go with a, I guess this is not a valid target. We can just do a normal weapon attack on this one and hopefully take them out. Poof, perfect. And then that's it, unfortunately, because we are slowed. And our bird is unsnared right now, unfortunately. But we can still drop this down to create the darkness again. So yeah, we'll just pop that, create blindness. Another nice thing about the bird is it's got the Shadow Feather Curse, which lets you actually apply the curse on a few targets that are nearby. Unfortunately, I keep getting commanded, so I keep losing my turns. It's not ideal to show off the class. I'm just gonna try my best here. Finally, I can get an attack in here. So Nightfall on the target that's afflicted with the Night Brand. So we're just gonna take him out there. Of course. Of course, of course, of course. We'll try that again. There we go. Critical hit. 81. So yeah. Also, if you got the Midnight Hunt on, this will make targets vulnerable to force damage, which will just double your overall damage output. Becomes pretty crazy. We also have Cage of Darkness from our weapons, so we can use that, or night. We got the Nightfall attack here. If you have an ally within 4 meters, which is perfect because you can literally just draw up any other characters that have the same initiative view, and then you can pop that down on the target, and it hits really hard, as you can see here. Boom, 92 damage. Yeah, that is crazy. We also get that free cast of a spell as a basically not even a bonus action. So if there's targets around, you can also go crazy with an upcast, so we can go boop and then hit every other target that is surrounding us, and try to command hold person, or drop the hold person on them. I guess we'll go with the lower level, and boom, there we go. So we'll drop hold person on all of them, and 1 saved, 2 saved. That's good. That's actually not a bad turn there. And then we can also just shadow step to darkness if we need to get away. So nice mobility here with our shadow shift. Very cool. The Shadow Feathers Curse, again, is probably one of our best options for just applying the curse to as many targets as possible. The nice thing about the bird is it's actually got some good mobility too. So you can also shadow teleport with it. So I guess we'll apply it to this. I guess we can't because the darkness is interrupting it. But you want to have this up on as many targets as possible, just because it's super useful to be able to use those attacks on it, and it's a core mechanic of this class. So we don't have the ability to use our Nightfall, so we may as well just drop a Dark Rift, and we can do that with a ranged or a melee attack there. So it's kind of cool because you can pull enemies in towards you, and boom, You also get the Umbral Bulwark there, which gives a +1 bonus to armor class and saving throws, which stacks up to 10 times. It's very powerful. And I guess we still can't use an offhand attack here, but we got this to do an offhand attack, and there's no one low on health, but we'll try to take this target up. Hey, it worked, and we broke concentration. That was nice. Now with our bird, we're going to use this to sneak up on this target here, and then we can apply our Shadow Feather Curse on it if we get the path right. And then this is just nice because then we can apply our attacks to it. It also has a bit of force damage, which is pretty nice, and Hold Person, being the amazing spell that it is, lets us just keep them there in place. And we can also even do command as an attack too. So then we can finish them off with the Nightfall attack there, and we rolled a critical hit on a 16 because of all the gear that we have. And there it is. This is a very fun class. It's unique, and you want to set up that darkness there. It's a whole lot of fun. So yeah, the Nightbringer class from Dirt6969, definitely worth a download. This is a lot of fun. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll see you all in the next video.